This is a new segment that I'm starting on the channel called Anvil's Thoughts, where I discuss some of my own opinions on the channel without them being related to the news or being inspired by anything from external media. Off the Press tends to deal with solid reports and something that's already in a permanent form, i.e. a news article or a video recording. Anvil's Thoughts, on the other hand, just comes from my own opinion. And as a lot of what I am supposed to say on this channel is of my own work and of my own view, I feel that I want to incorporate that more in my work. So that's why I've started up Anvil's Thoughts. Some of these opinions are controversial. Some of them you may not agree with. You may disagree with it completely. You may even agree with what I say, but I just want to get my voice out there and talk about players mainly and individual performances. I also mainly am going to use this section to talk about why I think players are playing well right now, what's working, what's not working, and just talk about tactics and players in general. I want to start off this episode by talking about something that's going on in the world and specifically in Eastern Europe that might be affecting one of the West Ham players. And I want to start off by saying this. I know that Andriy Yarmolenko is not exactly a fan favourite at this club. I know a lot of people get very annoyed when they see him about to come on in a game. I know a lot of people are frustrated by his performances and the lack of effort he appears to put in, especially when you take into account his high wages. I understand why people dislike him, but I want to say something about him right now without getting into all the political side of things. Yarmolenko is Ukrainian, as many of us know, and right now there is political tension between Russia and Ukraine, and there's even a possibility that there could be a war happening very soon. Back in 2014, the Russian troops occupied eastern Ukraine and parts of the Crimea region. And that was a very sad and unnerving time for a lot of Ukrainians because it started off a war between the two countries. Russia wanted to expand an influence into Ukraine, and it was very sad for a lot of people. I know this because I live in Canada, and when I say a lot, I would say there's about 500,000, at least, people in Canada are of Ukrainian origin. And one thing I can definitely say about Ukrainian people is they are very nationally proud and patriotic people. Yarmolenko actually has the Ukrainian trident emblem tattooed on him because he loves his country that much. There have been a lot of protests in the Ukraine against Russian influence. Russia's tried to invade Crimea a few times, and that's largely internationally recognized as a part of the Ukraine. And Putin has asked any Russian citizens to leave the Ukraine because he may have the intention to place armed forces in there. I know that Putin said a few months back that Ukraine would be nothing if it weren't for Russian influence. He's number one enemy in the Ukraine, in the country as well. Nobody really seems to like him. Ukrainians are very anti-Putin, and it's a very unsettling and worrying time. Why I'm making this video is to give you a bit of context on that situation, and why it relates to this, because Yarmolenko has family that lives in Ukraine, and he's probably very worried for them. He's worried about his parents, who are probably still living there, and other relatives, and even friends. He's grown up in Ukraine. He's got a lot of friends there still who have played with him at Dynamo Kiev and players who play with him in the national team. Do you not think he's worried about them? Well, he's probably got a lot on his mind at the minute. Yeah, he's his home country that he loves is potentially going to be invaded again. And it's probably playing on his conscience a bit. He's got a lot going on in his head, and we need to be quite understanding towards it if this is the case. I know that he's not been playing very well. He hasn't played well all season. He's not been that great in a West Ham shirt in the nearly 4 years he's been here. But recently, he's got a little bit of reason to be upset. And if he is struggling, maybe do think about why that might be. Maybe he is thinking about what could happen to Ukraine. Maybe he is a little bit upset by the situation. And if he is, there are a lot of people out there who he can talk to, like counsellors and people at the club. And his teammates as well. They were all here to help each other out. And it's probably weighing on his mind a bit. Don't forget, I actually wrote a tweet a few months, well, not a few months even, a few weeks ago, saying that my thoughts were everybody in the Ukraine regarding this situation. And I said in one of the tweets, don't slag off Yarmolenko. He's probably got a lot of family there, and he's worried about them. So help him out. You can criticise the performance if you want, but think about what he's going through off the pitch. Some things are bigger than football. And right now, the fact that his country is under serious threat from Russia once again is not a good thing for Ukrainian people. Now, people might just think, oh yeah, Ukraine's just some Eastern European country. I can tell you from what I've seen and from people I know who have been there, it's absolutely beautiful. It's rich with history, it's rich with culture, and their food is really nice as well. I've tried it. It's nice stuff. So, just to close this off, Yarmolenko doesn't need grief right now. He's got a lot weighing on his conscience regarding the Russian influence in Ukraine again. I know that politics and football shouldn't be a thing, and I'm not trying to get them to combine in this video, but it's worth noting that Yarmolenko's probably very worried. That's all I can really say. He's worried about what's going on in his home country, and if it's affecting his performances, we probably shouldn't slate him for that. But what we should encourage him to do is to speak to somebody about it. Mark Noble, the club captain, is always there to help. I know there's people within the club who can help him. I think that if we give him a little bit of support during a tough time, that's the least we can do. And that's the least we can do as fans. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all soon.